having a bad teacher, not using English in real life at all, not putting in enough time, having unrealistic expectations, and speaking in a too complicated fashion. Number 3, you have to put in the necessary amount of time and energy. Learning a language is almost like going to the gym. It's just mental exercise. And imagine you go to the gym. It's interesting that people understand this when it comes to exercise. They don't really understand it when it comes to languages. Imagine you want to be an Instagram model. You want to have a beautiful body. You go to a gym, find a coach, and you say, I want to look amazing. I want to go to the beach and I want people to be blown away, by my physique, by the beauty of my body. And then the coach asks you, okay, and how often will you go to the gym? And you say once a week. Well, the coach is going to laugh in your face because that's practically impossible. Of course, going to the gym once a week is better than not going at all. So again, learning a language once a week is better than not learning at all, but the results will be very, very limited. So the absolute minimum that you need to dedicate to learning a language is 2 hours a week with a teacher. And on top of that, at least 2 or 3 hours more throughout the week. Okay? And again, it can be whatever you want. It doesn't have to be studying from the textbook. It can be listening to music. It can be playing video games. It can be watching your favorite cooking show. It doesn't matter, but you should be in touch with the language at least 5 times a week in some form. And if you need to get really good, really fast, you need to be ready to put in the necessary resources. Okay, so then the 4th step. It's more of a life hack, really. But the good thing is that you can do it right now, and it will help you immediately. What I've often seen with students is that they have a complicated thought in their mind that they would express in their own language. They would use this very fancy vocabulary and they would express this very complex idea. But they can't do it in English. They can't do it in the foreign language. And so they struggle. They stop halfway. They go, they search for words. Or they say something that is so convoluted that no one can understand. So they are putting too much pressure on themselves by having unrealistic expectations. You can't expect that you will speak with the same level of fluency and complexity in a foreign language as you can in your mother tongue. This is possible after many, many years of intense practice. Yeah, for people who live in a foreign country for 20 years, they can usually do it. But if you're pre-intermediate, if you're intermediate, even upper intermediate, you won't achieve the same level of fluency and the same level of complexity of expression as you do in your mother tongue. And you need to keep this in mind. So something that you can do immediately is to start speaking very simply, okay? Use very simple language. If you have a complex thought in your mind, break it down. Think about a very simple way how to express it. I always tell people, imagine that you're talking to a child. And actually, I think that speaking simply and elegantly is a sign of proficiency in a language. Because again, I have a story for you from my studies. When I studied English at university, we had 2 types of textbooks. One type were Oxford or Cambridge textbooks, and then we had English textbooks written by Slovak or Czech professors. And the difference was striking. Those Oxford textbooks, they were reading like butter. And then the Slovak or Czech textbooks in English, oh my God, I had to read every paragraph 6 times. And I still didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Why? Because those people, those scholars were under the delusion, under the misapprehension that the more convoluted sentence I make, the more foreign and high level words I can cram into a sentence, the better my English is. Okay, but it was the opposite. It was the opposite. I would take an Oxford textbook over a Slovak textbook in English any day, just because those Oxford or Cambridge textbooks were written in a very simple and accessible language. And you should do the same. Learn to speak in simple terms, as if you were talking to a child. You can do that today, and you will see how much it will improve the impression your English makes on people, right? Because you will go from saying something very strange to a short, clear sentence. 1, 2, 3, bam, bam, bam. All right. So that's it for today. It's been a long video. I'll probably separate it into parts. If you liked it, if you found it useful, you know what to do. If you hated it, let me know in the comments. I'll see you soon. In the meantime, go out there and get better. Bye.